No, stop. We didn't put enough effort into last night's game to complain about being tired today.
Finch was missing John, obviously.
Yeah, huge. He's been our best player. He's been our best player over the last couple of games. And, you know, he and Pope probably our most consistent energy guys. So, yeah, that was a loss. But they had guys out, too.
In the second half, did you guys fall into a lull? I think when you got it to 14 or so of just jacking up threes, a lot of threes, and not really running the offense the way you wanted to. Did you feel that way?
I actually thought tonight we passed up about 8 or 9 threes. So I'm in a different thing. We're just not making anything. And our offense, the ball's not moving. It's sticking. Guys are letting the offensive frustration get to them at the defensive end. We're not in a good place right now. You know, you go through it at times during the season, and we're not very good right now. You know, our last 4 games have not been good, 3 of them, and you know, we gotta get it back together.
Guys are now 3-5 without Reggie. You think you're doing anything like getting them acclimated? Has that kind of like you kind of warned that it might knock you guys back a little bit? Do you think that it happened some?
Well, there's no question we haven't been as good. I mean, we've played 8 games, I believe. I think I'm right. 7 of them against teams below 500, and we're 3-5. I mean, you know, so there's no question we're not as good as we were. So that's just a fact. Now, is that all on him? No. Nope. We have a lot of guys not playing as well. But you know, one of those games, Pope missed, John missed a game. So there's been some other things. So it's not on him. But if you're asking in the 8 games, have we gotten better? No, hell, we've gotten worse.
What do you attribute the poor play in the paint to tonight?
Who's poor play in the paint?
The team was out rebounded, I think, by 11.
By 11, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, well, we got beat off the dribble all the time. I mean, you know, Jeff Teague and Aaron Brooks killed us. We couldn't keep them in front of us at all. They were by us, not just on pick and rolls, just on their own. They were just by us. We couldn't guard them at all. And so they had us broken down. I mean, that's always going to create a problem. I really don't think, maybe I'm missing somebody. Pope was okay defensively. There was really nobody good defensively tonight. You know, we couldn't stop them. I don't have any idea for the reason, though.
Reggie is pretty important to what you guys got going on here, but I guess you have to be patient there while he work himself back into shape. But the games are ticking away though as he's working out.
No question. No, it's we've definitely got to look at some things lineup and rotation wise. That unit is clearly not working, at least not right now. And so the question is, you know, how long do you stick with it? Because even the 3 wins that we have in that time, Chicago, Minnesota, Dallas, it was the bench in all 3 games that really made the run and got us the wins. Our starters have really, they were okay in the Minnesota game, but they really haven't been the factor. So that lineup has not been good. In fairness, that lineup, even before Reggie came back, the starting lineup with Ish was outscored by opponents too. So not by as much, but outscored by opponents. So that has not been as good a lineup. We were surviving basically because our bench was coming in and out playing people. But our starting lineup has not been as good as it should be. It hasn't been as good as it was a year ago, certainly. And, yeah, we have to look at some things, you know. But you want to make a move for a well-thought-out reason, something that you think could help, not just, you know, well, we got to make a change, so we'll just change anybody. So that's where we got to give it some thought. But, yeah, I'm not happy with that unit at all.
Is it offensively or defensively, or just depending on the night with that group?
Well, until the last 2 nights, the problems have been more on the offensive end, and then the last 2 nights we haven't guarded either. Our offensive frustrations, ranging from guys not thinking they're getting enough touches to guys just struggling, have taken a toll on our defense. It shouldn't, and it's not a legitimate excuse, but I'm just giving you the facts. That's exactly what's happened. our offensive frustration is affecting us at the defensive end, and we're losing heart a little bit, and that's concerning. But the offense has not been moving the way it should. The ball is not moving. I've got to look at play calls and the whole thing, and we went through stretches where Reggie made some plays in the third quarter. We were scoring. But again, what happens is we're scoring, but we're trading baskets, and part of it is, we got guys upset they're not touching the ball and everything else, and so they're not as engaged in the game on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, there's all kinds of things that go into the game, and the ball has to move. There has to be an unselfish offense and a committed defense, and the last two nights there have been neither. Now, we're 3 days away from having played, I think, having a pretty gutsy comeback in the Dallas game. We played well at Minnesota. We played well at Chicago. So it's not like we haven't played well in this stretch at all, but it's a little too bumpy, and we've got to get it figured out. It's not good right now.